Yo, YouTube, what's going on? This is the very first attempt at recording one of these. I'm going to try and do a semi-series of videos that are just basically like raw sound design sessions and production of me just kind of making an instrument, and you can watch me do the whole thing. And so really the end result is going to be unknown. This is not a tutorial of sorts. This is watch me solve the problem, and maybe we get something cool out of it. And then, maybe I'll release all these in a pack or something, or, you can just follow along and build it yourself, assuming you have all the, necessary tools. Let's get started. I kind of already started a sound, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I realized that I wanted to record it, so I'm just gonna kind of start from the beginning here. We got operator. Let's give her a whirl, shall we? So we're just gonna go with a saw wave, and I'm gonna do this. So okay, I guess I should talk my way through it. So I want to get like a phasey Reese thing going on. So we're gonna just go like this and have one oscillator that is down an octave and then pitched back up almost all the way, and then we're having one that is at the normal octave and then pitching it up a little bit. But we need these to run parallel, not in FM series. So I'm picking this algorithm here so that I get A and B running next to each other, and then I have the option to do some FM above. It seems like that's probably the best option, because if I want like proper Reese bass phasing type things, I need both of these oscillators to be nearly identical, if not completely identical, and then slightly detuned, or it won't phase the way that we generally expect it to. The other potential algorithm for this would be like this guy, but then we're just going to be adding FM to both of these, and they would have to be the same again, obviously, in order to solve the exact same problem I was just talking about. So yeah, we're gonna go here, and so yeah, we got a saw wave, and then I'm gonna put this guy up. Oh, that's a sine wave against a saw wave, which is, again, see, we don't get the phasing. Right, so now we've got proper Reese phase type thing going on. And I'm going to actually just turn off the retrigger, and then that way we don't get the sync phase immediately. Okay, so that's a good start. Let's set up some standard macro controls while we go. So I'm gonna map, and then there's a good question of whether or not I want to leave that at -12, but I can deal with that later. So the cool thing about this is if we map the fine tune knob, and I gotta do these in reverse, obviously. I want the initial to let's just do 1 and 999. So at the very bottom of the knob, we've got this. Oh wait, these are backwards. I gotta do this the other direction. Yo, Ghost Data, thank you for the follow, my man. I appreciate it. By the way, anyone who follows me while I'm doing this, you're going to get your name in the YouTube video, so that gives you some incentive. And if you subscribe, then everyone who watches my YouTube will know that you're a big supporter, and that's going to be great for you and me and everyone else. Okay, so we're recording a video right now, making a sound. So yeah, right now I want this so that when I turn this knob up, we get more out of phase and less out of phase. So right now we've got it at like just 2 cents out of phase, and I don't want this to go crazy. So let's go up to 10 and down to 990. So then, as you can see, as I move this knob up, this guy goes up to 10 and this one goes down, right? So if we have it as at the very bottom, we get really slow phase, and then if I turn this up, so we can kind of control the speed of our wobbles. So I could go even farther. Really, I want to find the max range, right? So let's go up to 20 and try that out. So it's kind of tripping me out. I always have to wonder if it's a bad idea to have like one of them going down and the other one going up, because like mathematically you would think that it cancels itself out to being closer to the being right in the center of the two of them, which should in theory be the root. But sometimes it sounds flat, and I've noticed that some people, when they do respaces, they have like they just have one of them going out of phase and the other one is left at the actual like proper fundamental. But you know what? I'm just not going to worry about that right now. It is somewhat annoying that these are not perfectly synchronized. Like this is 15 and this is 84, and that's kind of going to bother me. So I'm just going to make this go like that, and then they should be perfectly. And then now if you have it all the way down, there's no phase. It's just two saw waves. The interesting thing is it sounds different every time I play it because I don't have retrigger on. So that's kind of, you can either take that or leave it. It's kind of an interesting result of imperfection, and it's nice to resample those things. You can get like really interesting different just like samples out of that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So that's always fun. You can fix that though by, if we turn retrigger on, first we're gonna hear the if we ever go out of phase, you get that sync delay. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but like it's like the pulse sync as it like slowly goes out of phase. And like it's a cool sound, but it also is like kind of, I don't want to say amateur, but it's like one of those things that like when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that guy didn't know how to deal with the problem. So you can actually just set the phase to be offset at the beginning. And then that way we don't end up with like, well, we get a consistent like non pulse desync at the beginning. It's like a clean tone every time you start it. And then the cool thing about that is that we can actually choose where we want the phase to be if we have this knob all the way at 0. Crazy how you get such different sounds out of just the wave being slightly out of tune, or out of phase rather. They're not out of tune, they're perfectly in tune, and so that's why it sounds this way. You can get some pretty like, when people are like, how did they make that saw wave sound so different and whatever, it's like, it's just the phase is just slightly, because it's not it's not actually like I'm not doing any processing yet. This is just 2 saw waves. So let's set up the standard sort of thing that we need for a bass. So we'll set it to 1 voice so that we've only got 1 going on. I can turn the glide on, and now I So that's kind of cool. And then as you send it out of tune and then bring it back, then it's going to obviously give you a different position. So yeah, we can do that. And yeah, so let's do that. And you know what I'm going to do here? I'm gonna set the main oscillator to be just normal phase, and then I'll map this this to oscillator 2, or to macro 2. So this guy, detune and phase. Cool, right? So phase knob is really only useful if the detune is at 0. And you can't like automate this. Nothing happens. Once you've triggered the thing, like this doesn't change. Even though we can see it moving, like it waits for another oscillator to be triggered. So yeah, we can go 21% out of phase for the beginning, and cool. So let me just take a look back at this guy. This is the one that I had started making initially. Okay, yeah, I didn't change anything on the actual what do you call this, overtone series or anything like that. It's just standard saw waves, so we'll leave it at that. Then the next thing that I wanted to be able to do was add like an FM type thing. So now since I've picked this shape, we've got C going into both A and B, so we'll keep that like detune relationship even if we add FM. So now we can get, fun, it's like the FM from B sort of thing. Although that doesn't sound so great. So I think I was having fun with this at like number 6. Obviously we don't want to go too high. So this is it sounds pretty abrasive at the moment, but when you combine it with having a filter, especially when you like roll off some of those high-end harmonics, like we do end up with So yeah, this is useful. So let's map this to number 3, and I don't want it to go all the way to 1,000,000, and I want it to stay at probably, I think 3 is the lowest that it's useful to us. And then I don't think I want it much higher than, I mean, like, let's see how. You know what? I can leave it. Let's just leave that at all the way, and we can make that decision later. And then I'll map this obviously to there. So we got FM pitch and then FM amount. Cool. So excuse me, I just burped. It's probably caught on the mic, so I figured I might as well apologize for it. So we got the detune amount. These two things are both related to each other, so let's make them the same. FM, this is pretty intense, so we'll make it like red. So these two are related to each other, so let's just keep those together. Now the other question is, do I want to use this? And see, this is why it would have been nice to have it somehow split where I can send C into both A and B and then also send D into both A and B. And if you were doing this on FM8, actually you would be able to do that. But this is operator, so it is a little limited. However, that's why we added the coarse pitch over here, so we can choose different FM amounts. And so let's see if it's useful to us to have any sort of it doesn't really help us that much. Like, the sound is already so like exploded by this amount of FM. Like, there's so much going on here that when we add another oscillator on top of that, it doesn't really help us that much. The other thing that I realized, it actually sounds pretty good if you use a triangle wave instead of a sine wave. Usually I use sine waves. Turn the thing off. So you can actually hear the difference as opposed to starts getting a little crazy when we start doing it with saw waves. But there are reasons why triangles are nice for FM as a modulator, which I'm not going to go into right now on this video. But I tried it on the other synth that I had, and I feel like it sounded a little bit better. It was just like somehow a little bit cleaner, even though it's sharper. Okay, so let's move on. So yeah, the next thing is filter. We can go through all these different drives and see what's good. Like, I tested them out. Obviously, the hard is great. This is a little intense. That's interesting. The sine shape drive actually really emphasizes the phasing. That's interesting, because that doesn't happen with the other ones. And the 4-bit one is totally crazy. I'm not even going to try and deal with that right now. It's a fun one to play around with, though, but not maybe on this sound. That's interesting, because the sine... I do like how that adds that extra amount of phasing in the motion of the sound. But I was also trying it with the OSR filter. Let's see what settings I had over here. So yeah, 17. Turn this down a bit. We are clipping a bit. I think I actually had the oscillators turned down, so let's do that. Negative 15. Let's go down even further. Let's go to negative 20 just to be safe. We can try the different filters as well. Try that combined with this. It's crazy how it gets thinner. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, next thing I'm going to add... Okay, I think... What did I have over here? Yeah, I did have it on 12. Doesn't surprise me. I wanted to let a little bit of that high end out. Okay, we'll add some pitch envelope just for fun. Let's get this up to 24. Oops. What did I do over here? I know I really didn't change any of that stuff. Okay, cool. So we got something useful. I was also messing around with the LFO. I didn't end up leaving it on, but there's some crazy stuff that you can end up doing if you actually set this to like high rate and leave it on the pitches, but then like turn this rate like stupidly high. I don't know what's going. I mean, it's almost doing more FM. But if you get this rate really close to synced with the note that you're playing, then like that's really close. That's actually sweet. I'm going to record that because it's got some rhythm in it. Super weird. And then as soon as you play a different note, it's totally messed up. You have to match the actual key with the speed. But we're not going to do that. Oh, I'm still recording. Okay, get rid of that. Turn this off. Delete. Okay. Whoa, sorry. That was kind of harsh. Okay, so the other question is, like, what kind of filter do I want? I just turned the spread on because it's fun to like deal or like to just hear what it would sound like if it was super wide. But I've actually been experimenting a little bit more with this morph filter, which is nice. But the only problem is you don't get the drive. So we would have to use like. It'd be fun to actually like play with that. I don't know why they don't let you use the filter drive when you have the morph filter on, but the cool thing about the morph is it when it gets back to the beginning, it's at the same place as when it started. So if you just do this, it kind of goes in a circle. So anyway, that's kind of cool, but we're not going to do that. We're actually just gonna leave this as a low pass filter, and then that way I can keep my filter drive, and I'll just do it with an auto filter, filter. I don't know what's going on. There's been like a weird bug where it doesn't let me type sometimes. Okie dokie, come on, you can do it. All right, sweet. And then we'll make this guy a morph filter. And we could LFO it, but maybe I won't. Just for now. So yeah, we've got this guy. Sweet. Okay, so we got some useful stuff. So let's map this to number 5. We could probably map the glide time. Probably be useful. I don't know if the tone knob is generally going to be... Yeah, it only really affects when there's FM. We could always just have that down a little bit to chill out the intensity of the FM when it is happening. Okay, cool. So far we got a pretty decent little Reese bass going on here. So let's see. Let's process this a little bit more and see what happens. So first. Get rid of that. So yeah, we can check out some stuff here. So let's see. First thing, I'm gonna add another auto filter. I'm gonna turn this one off for now because I'm gonna add it later in the chain. Let's close these guys. I do want a notch filter in here. Add a little bit of phase just to get it to swirl around a little bit. So that's one thing that we can have in there. Do we need any sort of distortion? I'm trying to remember exactly what happens in my my other Reese that I generally use. I know that there's overdrive in there, but I don't know if it's entirely necessary, but let's try it out. Why not? Okay, I am going to actually take a look, see here at this guy just to remember what's going on in the chain. Doodly doo. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay. As I suspected. I don't mind that. There's also a saturator going on in here as well. So we can try this guy out. Let's turn these off for a second. It's actually kind of cool. You can barely hear. You almost get this like yai like sound in the low end every time it peaks over the top of the phasing thing. You don't have it without the saturator. But then I turn it on. Okay, cool. Let's add an EQ in here. Let's add some erosion in here as well. Like that. That's kind of crunchy. And And that's one thing that we can do then, is we can actually map the amount of this to the filter. Obviously we don't want it at all the way. Where are we here? Amount, we don't want it to go all the way up at all the way, but we do want it down as the filter goes down. There we go. So that's kind of cool. Sweet. I'm really super tempted to like put the spread up, but that tends to just destroy the phase of it like immediately. Yo, oh, you redeemed. Oh my God, somebody actually did this. How long ago did you do that? Okay, all right. Oh, hold up. I gotta make sure my desk isn't caught on stuff because it doesn't want to lift up right now. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Well, I guess we're standing up for a minute now. It's going to make the pedal usage a little bit more difficult, but hey, whatever. So it's, yo, what's going on? Ancient Observer. How's your day going, my man? Alright, I don't want to make this video like way too long. It's definitely a lot of me messing around, and I was really hoping not to have to edit it, so let's try a couple other things here. We've definitely got something that's rather crunchy now. So what else can we do? So I want to make it somewhat stereo, so we can always try the new chorus, either before or after. Might be better off before erosion. Um, yeah, I don't think anyone realized. Yeah, I have a standing desk, so if you pay me, well, you not pay me, but if you use your channel points, you can remind me to actually like not sit down, which is kind of nice. It changes the thinking. Although I have this fancy I have a fancy mat that I can stand on as well, which makes it so that my feet don't hurt. So let's pull that out. Oh yeah. Now we got some rubber on the feet. Okay, so yeah, I'm already making a sound, so that one you're already cashing in. So there's lots of different ways for us to make this make this. I'll make another sound for you later. There's a lot of different ways for us to make this stereo. The only issue is I really wish that this spread thing didn't just decimate it. But it really does mess things up a lot. So let's take a look here. I got a little intense. All right, I don't hate that. So let's map this guy as well to number 7 here. Chorus, and this is low pass. Glide time, we might have to move that somewhere else. I don't even know if it's really necessary to have that mapped per se. But yeah, what else can we do with this? I mean, obviously there's a million different things. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to add a reverb that we can control. We're going to need that's cool. Let's put this back on here. Might actually be better off before the reverb. So that's kind of cool. One thing we could do is we could split it. We don't have to get overly complicated here, but we could do a little bit of a split. I'm trying to think how's the easiest way for me to do this. And linear. Let's just load this guy up. I'll just group the mid and high together. Cool. And close that. All right, and then I will put the reverb on there instead, so that I know that I'm not sending anything below a certain. None of that's going into the reverb. Cool. Oh. Although this does seem to suddenly be causing a bunch of spiking problems or some clipping, and I'm not sure why. Let's see here. If I turn this reverb off, does it still have the same problem? I could always just turn the volume down a little bit here. Let's go negative 25 instead. Give ourselves a little bit of headroom. Actually, this might not be the best place to do it, because that'll mess up all of our distortion. So let's go in here and just drop the volume down a couple dBs. You know what? It actually sounded way better. It sounded better without the split, I think. So you know what? We don't need to do that. We're not going to do that. Cool. The other thing is we could turn this LFO back on and put it on here. That's gonna be too hard to control, but it's fun to mess around with anyway. So let's put this back. And we'll have a morph filter in there. Okay, so let's get rid of this glide automation. I don't think we really need it. I can always just do that manually whenever I want. So let's go here and chorus, and then I'm gonna map the morph filter to where the original one was here. Morph filter, and then go here, morph frequency. I guess I gotta go freak. Okay. And let's open this up. Sure. So we got 4 more macros we can deal with. I don't think we need anything else inside operator. Okay, so we'll add reverb. Well, let's go like that. we got reverb. And then you know, let's just chill it out with some good old OTT. That seems pretty useful. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna want another, just a standard low pass at the end to deal with some extra filtering. So that'll be helpful. The only other thing we can really try is, like, you know, how much more crazy do we need to make this? We could add like phasers and flangers and stuff, but that's always like easy to just add whenever you want that sort of sound. Like, we can try it out. What's it called again? Phaser flanger or flanger phaser? Where are you? Must be phaser. There it is. seem to have lost our initial like phasing, which kind of makes me sad. I'm not 100% sure where it went. Oh, it's just because I had the FM on. Cool. So yeah, we made it. We made a Reese bass. The only other thing that you could do is add like 1,000 different notch filters going through it at the same time, just to like get some crazy stuff. But yeah, here's a pretty standard little detuned saw Reese thing, and that was fun. So I'm gonna map this guy to number 10. Post, call that low pass post. Open that up. There we go, and then I can get rid of these last two. Whoop, those last two, and now we have everything. Nice, and then those lined up nicely, so we can make these colors the things that they should be. Morph filter, reverb. I'll make that like, I don't know, white. And then the filters we'll just make black. And there we go. All right, ADK operator. I should probably put bass here. Or no, wait. Whatever, it's fine. Detuned saw Reese. There we go. And then we just go to the presets and we go to instruments, and we just drag this guy all the way up to bass, and we save it. And we're gonna call it there for now. All right, awesome. Thank you, YouTube, and I'll be back with another one of these some other time. Peace.